appraisal comes in at 8, that's the sales price.
Okay.
If it comes in at 5,
6.8 is the
we can bail out.
That's how I would forecast the contract being drafted.
Right.
And if it's not like that, I wouldn't recommend signing it.
Right.
I highly doubt with Andy and his partner that number's going to come in.
TAQ.
Yeah, they got
Okay.
It might be 35 cents off, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay.
Good
So,
question.
motion.
I need a motion to have Tony prepare the letter of intent.
To authorize district council chair and manager to work with the representatives of TAC to bring back a letter of intent for the November 9th meeting, consistent with the bullet points in the south line.
Motion. Dr. repeat that?
No, sir.
Can I have a second?
Not second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Tony, you have your work cut out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you.
I love this time of year when everything gets short.
Short, yes.
A little tongue-in-cheek on that.
I do think it's a good opportunity for us because it does give us the opportunity to do this, and should we not want to, we can
Yeah.
bail out of it. Okay. The financials. I went through these, and this is for year end, and I have to say, Jeff and John, you did an outstanding job this year. So at the general fund, I went through this, I have one, I really don't have any questions for the general fund. John, we did budget more for fuel, correct?
Yeah, so that was just a mix-up.
Okay.
Yeah, that number's taken care of it. Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely. No, it should have been actually double that this year, but somehow they got lost in translation during the budget process.
Okay. Anything on the general fund? We're good with the debt service funds.
I did on the debt service fund. I know we
Okay.
have that revolving balance of around $150,000. Going into that last year, can we utilize that up front?
It gets utilized in offsets your assessment levels for that final year to pay it off.
So we can use that in advance?
In the last year.
In that last
To make your
year.
last payment, yep.
So the last payment could,
That
So
325 could be...
So the amount of assessment you'll be collecting for that last year will be reduced
By
because you'll be
roughly
using the
100.
reserve.
by roughly $150,000.
Yep.
Okay.
So that last year's assessment, for that piece of the assessment, would roughly be about half of what it normally is.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if we had to go ahead and collect it all up front and then afterwards that
refund.
150, or if it would benefit us to have it just to be safe. But because of where that last payment hits, we could apply that 150 to the next budget as a
No, the
correct.
bond documents are require you to apply it to the
Okay,
tax.
no, that's fine. I just
And
wasn't sure.
All excess funds, and then there can be some other excess funds in the system as well that'll be used, so.
Okay.
So that would just reduce the resident
Correct.
325 to...
Yep, they'll reduce your assessment.
So
that
the
last year.
assessment for the budget year 22-23 would be
About half of that.
about half.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Irrigation fund, we're fine there. And they're still transferring the money monthly to you, Jeff, for the payroll?
Yes, that should be happening any day now, I would imagine.
We'll figure out the affluent water issue. John,
What's that?
the affluent water bill, we ever figured that out? From the last meeting, why it was so high, year to date, 143,000.
I think they're just charging us more.
Where are you at?
We're on the irrigation fund.
Oh, yeah, I don't... 115.
We've hit on this prior.
I don't see that bill, Phil. I don't, that goes straight to...
Yeah, I think it's a combination of an increase in per 1,000-gallon charge, as well as it was an extremely dry spring.
Yeah.
So we probably drew more additional water.
Right.
And thankfully, they had it. Wasn't always the case in the past.
No.
That's true.
Okay. Our cash balance as of last Friday was $55,000. Jeff, do we need to borrow money?
Let's try not.
Okay, we're going to hold off and wait, and I'd rather not.
It's just a phone call.
Okay, especially since we're, down the road, if we're looking for bond, I want things as clean as possible, that we don't owe any money to anybody, so
Agreed.
just makes it easier. Okay, the consolidated, Jeff, the total revenues are over $3 million.
Yes, they were.
So that was really very good, and, our net change position to budget was $12,900, and that's probably the lowest I've seen it since I've been on the board. So, and John, I'm not picking on you, but if we didn't have to buy that sub-air system, maybe we would have been better, but it was a good move. We had to do it.
And we bought a tent.
And we bought a tent, we did pavers, we did a lot last year, and to
That
still,
wasn't on the...
to be at that level, you guys did a great job. The concession stand, Jeff, again, they did a great job, and that's why I'd like when the HOA uses the tent, that they use us to purchase more stuff from there.
Totally agree.
Agreed.
So, I will, Elizabeth will bring it up at the meeting. When is your meeting?
Next Thursday, the 4th.
Okay.
November 4th.
Okay. If you need me to come in or make any comments, just give me a call. Does anybody have, Jeff, on the golf course, are we doing annual passes again? The annual
Oh, memberships?
memberships?
Yeah, we already sold a couple.
Okay, all right. And the range balls, you've increased that price?
Yes, ma'am, we're up to $10.
$10, okay. And with the handicaps, we're good with getting everything?
Yes.
I didn't have any other questions with the golf course. Does anybody else have any comments, questions? Can I have a motion to, okay, let's just, we're on target with the revenue bonds and the bunkers. We only have a few more payments with that. And that should also help with us getting a municipal bond, because we're paying everything on time and we're not delinquent.
Rates are really good right now.
Okay, that's why I'd like to do this sooner than later. Okay,
A lot better than 7%, right?
Hell, yeah.
yeah. But again, my first mortgage was 18 3/4.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, can I have a motion to accept the financials?
Make a motion to accept the financials.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, the minutes. Chuck did a very good job since the tape recorder
Yeah,
bailed on him.
These came up entirely from notes, so
Okay.
that's why they're short.
I went through them. I did not have any changes. Does anybody else have any changes or additions?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Tony, do you have anything else for us?
I just retrieved my email I had sent to the village attorney.
Yes.
Back September 29th, we sent it to Derek, asking to get with me Friday or next week to talk about the sidewalks.
Okay, very good. And just so that, John and I met with Dave Willems, and then I met with him again with the easements for the sidewalk out front. And where they're doing it, let's just say it's a spot as big as this table, but just one section of it is ours. I've told them just go ahead and do the easements and do it as one easement down there. The village will be responsible for any trimmings, maintenance of that. Also, their insurance will cover it if somebody falls and hurts, so that's So rather than piecemeal it just across the board. And we spoke with our landscaper yesterday, and we're going to wait to see what we will do out there based on what the village does out there. So, Tony, I think we can go ahead and...
No, that's all. And again, I had a number of other comments to the form of the easement, and hopefully Derek and I'll talk next week.
Okay, very good. And then just keep us posted. Johnson Engineering, they're not here.
I have nothing for
Oh, yes.
I have a question. Are we talking about the backpack here?
We're talking where the...
Wait a minute.
No, along Corkscrew, from Duffy's all the way down to that corner where they're going to be doing the...
Is there going to be a wall, a brick wall?
Probably not. I don't, at this point, I don't know, because we have to work with the landscaper, see what, that's not the village, that would be part of the common grounds and how we're going to build it. I'm not sure a wall is the best, because the people right by the wall will benefit, but then it just bounces over. They did the wall on 75, and I get more noise because it bounces over. Working with the landscaper to do the right type of shrubbery and trees to be a barrier there. So, okay, so that's what we're working on. So, you know.
It would have, still have a chain link fence.
Oh, absolutely.
Landscaping on that side, landscaping on this.
Oh, yeah. So that's what we're doing. Elizabeth?
Can you touch on the walking path?
Oh, right, okay. Yes, oh, forgot to bring that up. One of the other things, with the landscaping, there will be parts of the walking path that will have to be dug up and redone based on, you know, where the trees are and what they're pulling out. The HOA has asked me to look at redoing the entire path. I've asked Tammy for the linear footage. And then I've also asked the landscaper to tell me 10%, 20%, 80% of the path will be compromised because of the landscaping. So that's something we'll look at. We've asked the landscaper to do that. I don't know how much of the path will actually be compromised when we do the landscaping and dig up everything. So we will look at that and determine, you know, percentage-wise and what can be done.
I just think the timing would be, because the path is over 20 years old, and there's so many times that it was patched, you know? There's a lot of
There's root clearing.
cracks
Yeah,
and roots.
from
and-
roots, yeah.
So to me, this would be the ideal time. I mean, if you're redoing some of the berms, if you're redoing, we might as well, otherwise, what are we going to be doing 5 years from now?
I agree with you.
How are we to
So we're,
do it?
yeah.
I kind of think that if we're, by redoing the berms and all this, that probably the path's going to have to change.
That's what I think,
I would
too.
figure.
You're going to be cutting them down.
Right, something, even just for drainage. You know,
So-
something's going to happen.
Yeah, so we've asked Scott to look at that. I have to get the linear footage so they can so they have an idea of the cost factor in that. And again, this will all be built into the bond, so, you know, how we do this will, you know, impact the residents. You know, I don't want them to think it's a freebie. You know, it's all going to be built into that, but it will enhance the neighborhood, and that's something that needs to be done. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth.
Speak.
Oh, yes.
Okay. The reason why I think there should be a wall, I know that the noise is going to come over, but I got to tell you, privacy. Because they can see through what's there now, and even if you put up, you know, trees and that stuff, it's going to take a long time for it to get filled in.
Well, we have asked, the county is willing to work with us on that, and I told them that I wanted comparable trees, or as best they can to do that. And yes, we've told the landscaper that this is, you know, this is what we want. And so we are working on that. We understand the privacy issue. But no, we're not going to put in bushes this high that are going to take 30 years to grow. They're going to be this high. So yes, we're very aware of that issue and are working with the landscaper with regard to that. Okay. I have a couple other things. The holiday bonus,
It's budgeted.
it's budgeted. So we need to make sure that we get that. And are you doing a holiday lunch this year?
For Christmas?
Yes. Okay, so
Do
you
you
just
have a
have, do you have a date, or
I'll have a date by the next meeting.
next meeting? Okay. I just didn't want that to fall by the wayside. And then again, Chuck, I will email you and Jeff Pinder to make sure that by the end of November, we get October's financials, and December, we get November's, okay? That's all that I had. Phil?
Chuck, I have a question on these water disconnects. Is this number true? $2,200? Water disconnect. It's after the yellow page.
Yeah, that thing's been there.
Oh, that's been forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lien on him.
Yeah, those are the uncollectibles.
Yeah.
I mean, the lien process worked really well, brought us down from about 78,000 outstanding
Yes.
down to what you see here now, so.
Do we have a number where we cut them off, what the dollar amount is?
Can you legally not? Yeah, I think that's the issue. You can't legally cut them off.
I'm not saying that, but is there a number where we go after them to lien?
Go after them to lien them?
Yeah, if they're not paying.
Well, yeah, once you get a couple of months out and you've run through your late notice process, and you do have a specific process you go through, once you get to the outside of that, you can cut them off, lock them up, and do a lien on their property.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, was that what you were asking? Because we lock those things
Yeah.
if they get too delinquent.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think he's ever paid his water.
$2,200?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
He's connected to potable at this point, he doesn't really care.
that's right.
Those are pretty hefty water bills.
Yes, they are. You
Yes.
know,
Ms. Huff?
Yes,
it's principle.
While the meeting's going on, I've been talking to Joe, our insurance.
yes.
One thing he suggests, with the later model Toyota that was involved in the accident and the cart, because we can defer the cart, might be just easier just to pay and not even make an insurance claim.
Okay,
Because we have a $5,000 deductible anyway.
right.
Right.
Oh, yeah, all that exercise for
Okay.
$1,000.
Do
And
we
his
have,
investigation, I'm sure, would eat up that 1,000.
4,950.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, 495.
Okay, thanks.
Ambulance chaser.
Do you, I know Tammy had the woman's information?
We'll get it.
So you'll take care of that?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense if it's,
Yeah,
We
that's
okay?
common.
Let's get full release and all.
Doing the appraisal, didn't we?
doing the what?
Didn't we do an motion to
Yeah.
do an
Building?
appraisal on the building?
Oh, we've already started
We
that.
started it.
Yeah, it's
We
already
ran-
been started.
We ran into the brick wall to look at the books.
The books, and that's where all this other stuff came up. But yes, we already, and we have a gentleman who's got stuff, or lady.
Are we waiting?
Yes, no, it's Integra Realty Resources.
Okay.
Carlton Lloyd.
Do you have any idea when it'll be done?
He's MAI certified.
Well, first of all, we have to sign this letter of
I understand-
intent
I
due to
understand
contract. So a lot would depend on how quickly we get the information and, how we
Yeah,
can...
I don't think it's going to be a long-winded exercise
No.
for him. He's pretty much done a lot of the legwork up
He's
to
done the
this
lion's share
point,
of
so.
it.
And especially when we provide the information, the financial information to
Right.
base it upon. Because as you know, there are multiple ways of appraising property.
Well, this one has to be, the business has to be considered on the appraisal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's part of what,
that's the
that's the
books, yeah.
non-disclosure, that's the books, and that's not something that TAQ wants
Yeah.
publicized. So that's where he's asked that just the four of us look at this and take it from there. Okay. Do you have anything else, Phil? Bill? Mike? Chris, any emails?
It's been fairly quiet. There were emails about the person tripping over the sign. But
You saw my response?
Yeah.
It's been ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got two policies. I need to know a little bit more information, specifics on this, so I can decide which set of information I will provide to you at your request. So,
Right, and nothing, okay.
nothing.
And Jeff just left, but don't we typically do something on Veterans Day?
I think veterans get
For the golf course.
Yeah.
Yes.
The golf
For like,
course.
yes, the veterans play free usually.
free on,
I didn't want to say it unless he was here, but I
No.
was just curious.
He'll be back. He's, the lady that was in the accident with the cart is in the office, wanted to speak with somebody.
okay.
There you go. Anyway,
Just
that
like
was just...
Yes, I know the veterans play for free, but we'll have that finalized and approved on the 9th. because
Oh,
we'll
that's
be
true,
here.
the 9th's coming up, so...
So we'll be here
actually
before
there
then.
before.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else? Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. See you all on the 9th.